Our life is a game, but who wrote the rules? If you were given the right to live one life, filled with love, power, and knowledge, would you agree, knowing that your end is predetermined from the start? Today, we enter Omar Khayyam's observatory to understand his most ruthless philosophy, the philosophy of fate. Last time we talked about wine and freedom, but today we look at the heavens that truly rule us. Welcome to the Rubaiyat garden, where poetry meets astronomy. Here are 4 lines that Khayyam throws directly in the face of an indifferent universe. Listen to this call of the scientist. Receive the gift that heaven sent, my friend. Do not speak aloud of what it gave to thee. For the wheel of heaven, turn it where you may, still nothing will return back to the circle. This is not merely poetry. It is the oath of a scientist before a perfect yet indifferent machine. Khayyam, unlike other poets, wrote not about feelings, but about laws. He saw the beauty of the heavens, but understood their relentless logic. For him, the stars were not beacons of hope, but a precise, unbreakable clock. It is this knowledge that led him to a cruel yet honest fatalism. For those who cherish timeless, refined literature, the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam is more than a book. It's a classic you'll return to. A perfect gift and a graceful addition to any library. This edition reveals new depths with every reading. The direct purchase link is below the video. Khayyam is a man of paradox. He wore the cloak of a scientist, yet wrote as a hedonist and rebel. His poetry is unique precisely because it has a scientific foundation, and his sorrow is not a lyrical invention. It is the grief of a man who knows how precisely the universe works. He dismantled the cosmos and saw that our desires hold no weight there. So, can we trust his calls to joy if he himself was so melancholic? To understand his fatalism, we must first grasp his greatest scientific triumph. Imagine this. Sultan Malik Shah I commissions Khayyam to create a perfect, absolutely accurate calendar. This was no simple task. It required the precise calculation of the movement of all celestial bodies. Khayyam, using his observatory, created the Jalali calendar. It was so perfect that its accuracy surpassed even contemporary European analogues. This achievement did not bring him peace. On the contrary, it plunged him into philosophical tragedy. Khayyam knew, the movement of the stars is a law that is independent of our prayers or tears. The heavens ceased to be a dwelling place for God, becoming instead a perfect yet utterly indifferent mechanism. If time and the movement of the stars are so precise and inevitable, is our life not merely a part of this precise, inescapable program? This is a terrible realization. He, Khayyam, was the only one who saw the inevitable, unchanging code of the universe. His work confirmed that every event, every moment, from sunrise to sunset, is already embedded in this cosmic algorithm. He, with his own scientific genius, proved the impossibility of human freedom. Imagine the weight of this knowledge, the triumph of reason that led to the tragedy of the spirit. What does it feel like to be the only person on earth who holds this cold, final truth? Khayyam could no longer see the world through the romantic lens of poets who believed in miracles or divine intervention. For him, the world became a colossal machine, beautiful in its mechanism, but devoid of soul. This unique position made him an existential outcast, unable to share the burden of his cosmic knowledge. This scientific fatalism forces us to reflect. If our life is merely part of this clockwork mechanism, is there any room for freedom? Khayyam's answer is cruel but honest. We cannot change our fate. We are merely puppets on strings, pulled by an unknown force called the heavens. But it is in this very awareness that the beginning of true wisdom lies. Now let's return to the Rubaiyat.
Khayyam speaks of the heaven that binds us and the wheel of heaven. These phrases are not just poetic embellishments, they are astronomical terms. The wheel of heaven, or the celestial sphere, is the term used in antiquity to describe the visible rotation of the stars around the Earth. This rotation symbolizes the cyclical nature and fatalism from which there is no escape.
Today, we too have our wheel of heaven, algorithms, systems, and rules that we do not control, yet they dictate our choices. We are born, live, and die under the dictates of this rotation. This is the metaphor for our dependence on the cosmos. Khayyam does not believe in good luck or bad luck in the ordinary sense. He believes in a rigid program where our role is minimal and we cannot change it. Our tears and desperate prayers cannot move the stars by an inch. Does this not make you feel a little helpless? The poet uses the image of the wheel to emphasize the futility of trying to change what is already determined. All our attempts to break out of the cycle are in vain, for the heavens are indifferent to human dramas. This realization forces us to abandon hope for external salvation or intervention. The only thing we can control is our attitude toward this inevitability. Fate is a cosmic law written on eternal parchment, and its script cannot be rewritten by human will. Khayyam observed that the heavens constantly rotate, bringing nothing truly new, only predictable patterns of existence and inevitable demise. Why then persist in resistance? Why hold on to futile hope when the cosmic mechanism operates with such harsh mathematical precision? He questions the very idea of destiny as something personal that can be appeased or charmed. Fate, in his profound view, is not a good or evil will, but a physical, undeniable law of nature. Our small human ambitions cannot influence this law, just as your fleeting wish cannot change the gravitational pull of a planet. This is the heart of his intellectual despair. If the wheel of heaven rotates relentlessly, why did Khayyam write about seizing the moment? Herein lies his brilliant, existential rebellion against fate. He understood that the only act of freedom available to man is his consciousness. We cannot change the duration of life, but we can change its depth. Khayyam offers a formula for survival and victory over the indifferent mechanism. Since we cannot move the heavens, we must saturate this short, determined segment of life with maximum value. This means filling it with wisdom, knowledge, genuine friendship, and true joy. This is our only chance to defeat the indifferent universe. Every conscious moment, filled with truth and beauty, is our personal victory over the time allotted to us. This is not an escape from fate, but its conscious ignoring by focusing on the present. This is the true rebellion of the philosopher, to know the law but choose to live despite its cold verdict. Freedom is the only space between the moment of birth and death. When you next look up at the stars, remember, they are not just beauty, they are a massive, precise clock that is relentlessly counting down your time. This is fate, written by a scientist, not a prophet. And the only way to defeat this clock is to live now with maximum intensity. Make this segment of life so bright that it challenges eternity itself. This realization is the key to inner peace. Accepting the inevitability of the cosmic order frees you from the tyranny of worrying about what you cannot change. Your power lies in the small, beautiful details which are entirely yours to command. Do not waste the limited time you have been given trying to rewrite the stars. Embrace the beautiful fact, you are a conscious spark in a deterministic universe, and your consciousness is your triumph. For the wheel of heaven, turn it where you may, still nothing will return back to the circle. If you are ready to explore further the philosophy hidden behind great poetry, subscribe to our channel. Next time we will analyze Rubaiyat number 4, The Clay and the Potter, where Khayyam reflects on the nature of the Creator and his creation. Click the bell to make sure you don't miss this deep analysis. See you in the Rubaiyat Garden.